I'm not teaching, I'm publicly learning, but hi and welcome to Learning for the Life in the UK test Part 4, Early Britain Introduction Part 2, while doing morning stretching. It's an unusual combination to do sport and learn at the same time, but it's a learning method and you might give it a try. You are invited to join into the exercises, but participating in the exercise is at your own risk. And I'm using this just under fair use for educational purposes. And so with this introduction part 2, in the first part we had that through the most part of the Stone Age, Great Britain was connected to the continent Europe through a land bridge. But when 10,000 years ago the Channel had come, so the water level had risen, there was no connection anymore between Great Britain and Europe. 6,000 years ago the first farmers came to Britain and they started to do agriculture, to plant plants. 10,000 during the Stone Age they were hunter-gatherers and they were following deer and horse herds. And the ancestors of these farmers coming to Britain 6,000 years ago and starting agriculture came from Southeast Europe. And they, for example, made Stonehenge in Wiltshire. Here's a picture of Stonehenge. And there are other things, for example, a prehistoric village Scarborough on Orkney Island, which is north of Scotland. And now we're going on with the second part, but I'm going to read the first part again, what I just said. The first people to live in Britain were hunter-gatherers, in what we call the Stone Age. For much of the Stone Age, Britain was connected to the continent by a land bridge. People came and went following the herds of deer and horses which were hunted. Britain only became permanently separated from the continent by the Channel about 10,000 years ago. The first farmers arrived in Britain 6,000 years ago. The ancestors of these first farmers probably came from Southeast Europe. These people built houses, tombs and monuments on the land. One of these monuments, Stonehenge, still stands in what is now the English county of Wiltshire. Stonehenge was probably a special gathering place for seasonal ceremonies. Other Stone Age sites have also survived. Scarborough on Orkney off the north coast of Scotland is the best pre-visited prehistoric village in northern Europe and has helped archaeologists to understand more about how people lived near the end of the Stone Age. It's preserved, not pre-visited. So it's Scarborough off the north coast of Scotland is the best preserved, not pre-visited, preserved. Preserved means that it's still there. It's reserved, it's preserved, it still exists, it's preserved. Like you're putting a cake into the refrigerator to preserve it for a couple of days. So that village is still preserved. Now to the first exercise before we get to the introduction part 2 of early Britain. Having the legs standing wide apart, we're breathing in and going down. And we're breathing out. And breathe again in. And out. Again in. And out. And in. And out. And last time in. Out. In. Out. Now close the legs. And we can start with a morning stretching. So we're always breathing in through the nose, deep into the chest, and then out through the mouth. So breathe in through the nose, into the chest, and out through the mouth. Let's go on to the next exercise. We are already quite a time in. We are breathing in and lifting the arms up. And out, and we're going to the side. And now breathe in and out the rib cage. So breathe in. And again out. And again in. And out back into the middle. And breathe in. And out to the other side. And breathe in and out the rib cage. And again out. And again in. And out and back to early Britain introduction part 2. Let's look for the pre-visit part. There was never anything written to pre-visit. I said it a couple of times in the past. So it's just the best preserved prehistoric village in northern Europe. So Scarborough off the coast of Scotland is the best preserved prehistoric village in Northern Europe. Nothing of visited was with you. Preserved. Around 4,000 years ago, people learned to make bronze. We call this period the Bronze Age. So we have a Stone Age, that was 10,000 years ago or more, and then now we have a Bronze Age, 4,000 years ago. People learned to make bronze. We call this period the Bronze Age. People lived in round houses and buried their dead in tombs called round burrows. So they lived in round houses, I guess they were around, and they had tombs, so graves, where they put their deceased loved ones, round barrows, B-A-R-R-O-W-S, round barrows, and they had tombs. The people of the Bronze Age, 4,000 years ago, when we learned how to do bronze, which is an element, the people of the Bronze Age were accomplished metal workers who made many beautiful objects in bronze and gold, including tools, ornaments, and weapons. So 4,000 years ago, the people learned to do bronze, but also how gold to do things with metal workers, so gold and bronze are both metals. And they made ornaments, so ornaments, it's not written here, but ornaments are, I do not say it if it's not true, but ornaments are things to make things beautiful, but out of metal. So accessories. I don't want to say jewelry, so I don't know if it's true. So we're going on with the next exercise. We made ornaments and they were metal workers, they made gold and bronze 4,000 years ago. That's why it's called Bronze Age. Now the next exercise. We are breathing in but letting the hands down. And out and one hand slides down the leg and the other shoulder stays down. And now breathe in. And out and the arm comes over. And breathe in and out rib cage. And out. And again in. And out back into the middle. And breathe in. And out and one hand comes down the leg and the other shoulder stays down. And breathe in. And out and one arm comes over. And breathe in and open the rib cage. And again out. And again in. And out back into the middle. And the next exercise. We're having the feet standing together, breathing in and lifting the arms up. And we're breathing out and one hand comes down. Now breathe in and reach to both hands. So breathe in and reach. And out. And again in. And out and one hand comes down. And breathe in and reach. And out. And one more time, this whole cycle, breathe in. And out. And breathe in and reach. And out. And again in. And out, one hand comes down. And breathe in and reach. And out. So, 4,000 years ago, the people of Britain learned how to do bronze. That's why it's called the Bronze Age. We had before with the Stone Age, 10,000 years ago. And there were accomplished metal workers who made many beautiful objects in bronze and gold. So beautiful objects in bronze and gold, including tools, ornaments, and weapons. So tools, I guess, for working. They were farmers, so they were making farming tools, but also weapons. The Bronze Age was followed by the Iron Age, when people learned how to make weapons and tools out of iron. So Stone Age, 10,000, Bronze Age, 4,000, and then iron. Iron is another metal. When people learned how to make weapons and tools out of iron. So then the farming tools and some other stuff probably too, and weapons out of iron. People still lived in roundhouses, so they were living in roundhouses and had round barrows as tombs. And they grouped together into larger settlements and sometimes defended cities called hill forts. So we're not living in that singularity, but we were grouping together into settlements, so small cities, very small cities, villages basically, settlements. And sometimes defended sites called hill forts. So maybe it's explained here. A very impressive hill fort can still be seen today at Maiden Castle. I don't have a picture. So a very impressive hill fort, I guess we're going to split it into part 3. A very impressive hill fort can still be seen today at Maiden Castle in the English county of Dorset. Let's go on, then I'm going to read more and look if there's more explained to a hill castle. Next exercise, we're having the legs standing wide apart and we're breathing in and out and we're diving down. And breathe in. And out. And we're hoping to come only deeper down by breathing deep in into the chest and out through the mouth. So breathe slowly in through the nose into the chest. And out. And again in. And out. And again in. And out. Now change to one leg. And breathe in. And out. And again in. And out, change over to the other leg. And breathe in. And out. And again in. And out into the middle. Breathe in. And out, and we're coming again up, around back slowly and making it the top backwards shoulder roll. Let's go to the next exercise. The feet are standing together. We're breathing in. And out, we're going again down. And breathe deep in through the nose into the chest. And out. And again in. And out. And again in. And out, we're coming slowly up with a round back and making it top, backwards, shoulder roll. So, having 2 exercises left and just 2.5 minutes. A very impressive hill fort can still be seen today at Maiden Castle. So they learned after the Bronze Age, 4,000 years ago, how to do weapons and tools out of iron. And when they grouped together in settlements, they were still living in roundhouses. And they were defended, sometimes hill forts, so where they needed the weapons for, or made out of iron, or in the Bronze Age, out of bronze. And a very impressive one of these hill forts can today be seen at Maiden Castle in the county Dorset. Many people were farmers, craft workers, or warriors. So they were farmers, they were making plants and waited a few months and then they harvested them to eat. Craft workers, so craft workers means that they were doing things. So I guess some people were doing these iron weapons or tools. And some were also warriors, that means soldier basically. And the next exercise, the garland pose. The toes of the feet are pointing to the outside. We're having an underlimb space between our heels. We're breathing in and lifting the arms up. And we're breathing out and we're going down into the garland pose. And we're placing the elbows against the inside of the knees. And we're breathing in and we're coming straight up with the back. And breathe out and come with the back up. And breathe again in. And out back into the garland pose. And breathe in. And out back into the garland pose. Back in with the back up. Breathe in. And out. Now back into the garland pose for last time. Now we're going to breathe in. When we breathe out, we're coming up slowly in one straight line. So breathe in. And out, we're coming slowly up in one straight line. Let's try it. We have one last exercise, the seahorse pose. We have a minute left. So you're placing one heel over the knee of a standing leg. Do this only if you can do it without injuring your leg. We're breathing in. And we're breathing out and we're going down. And let's try if that works. So, we're going to make a third part. I'm going to read just what we had again. Around 4,000 years ago, people learned to make bronze. We call this period the Bronze Age. People lived in roundhouses and buried their dead in tombs called round barrows. The other leg. And down. The people of the Bronze Age were accomplished metalworkers who made many beautiful objects in bronze and gold, including tools, ornaments, and weapons. The Bronze Age was followed by the Iron Age, when people learned how to make weapons and tools out of iron. Last exercise, we're breathing in, and out, breathing in, and out, again in. And we're closing the legs, and I don't have time left. Thank you very much, and until next time.